day, everyone. This is Jason Santos, and for today, we are going to continue the discussion of statistics and probability. We are already on the 11th topic, so let's get started here. Last time, we have already covered some of the different ways on how you could compute probability, and alongside with that, how you would put that into charts and forms wherein you would see the distribution of data. So here for today, we are going to cover what is the normal distribution of data and how it should be interpreted. So for our example here, we have a simple normal distribution. Just show my pointer here. Simple normal distribution wherein if you would see very normal yung distribution of data. So this is what you call the normal. So there is a slope, a curve, and another slope pababa. Okay? So it's perfect. Unless it's skewed to the left or skewed to the right, parang iba yung itsura niya, no? You wouldn't consider that normal. But this is normal kasi talagang nasa gitna lang yung kanyang curve. And then alongside with that, now, if you would look at the numbers, because this is a chart or some sample data for females height. So here what you can see is that in the middle, you have 4.9 feet as the normal. Yun yung pinakamadami. At kaya if you would see, this is the median, the mean, median, and mode are all meeting at the center. Kasi nandun yung pinaka-frequent, pinaka-madami. So let's say this is in millions. Frequency in millions. So you have around 5 million females or 5 million people na ang height ay 4.9 feet. Alright? And then as the height goes up, bumababa naman yung quantity kasi pakonti na pakonti. Konti lang yung 5.2, konti lang yung 5.5, at mas lalong konti yung 5.5 up. No, in fact, a few trivias. No, in order for you to join this universe, I'm not sure you have to be above 5'5", or if you would like to be a flight stewardess, you have to be above 5'4" or 5'3". All right. So as the height goes up, the distribution goes low. So ganun din on the other side. Habang paliit naman ang paliit ang height, the distribution goes low. Kasi konti lang din naman yung 4.5 feet at 4.2 feet. Okay? Kaya nasa middle lahat kasi yun yung pinaka-common. That's the common height for most of people. So we are talking of probabilities and areas under a normal curve. So again, this is the normal curve. This is what's common. Okay? In statistics, there are countless normal curves, and we could very readily obtain the probabilities with computers. So, napakadali na siyang gawin ngayon thanks to technology, computers, specifically with the use of spreadsheet applications of statistical software like Microsoft Excel. The standard normal distribution is the normal distribution with the mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So, the notation Z is equivalent to 0 and 1. So, ito yung magiging formula natin or where you would have to look at in order for us to solve the problem. So, again, just a recap, if you would look at a table or a distribution table, you would see that at the middle is the z-score. There are z-scores now, by the way. Z-scores lahat yan. However, at the middle should be your mean. And in our case, dito sa presentation na to, our mean is 0. And then, there should be a standard deviation of 1. Dapat daw may pagitan of at least 1. Where in our case, dinagdagan pa natin ng 0.5. But, a deviation of 1 like 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Okay? Basta merong siyang deviation or agwat between the two. Between the two data of at least 1, we're okay, right? So for our symbols, para hindi kayo malito, this mu symbol pertains to mean, and then the sigma pertains to standard deviation. So to calculate z-score, if you're looking for the z-score, ayan yun, nasa baba, right? All you have to do is x, right? If x could be given, or sometimes you would have to look for it, no? If it's given, then yan, x minus the mean over standard deviation. Okay? So tatandaan na, z is equals to x minus mean over standard deviation. Ngayon, kung x naman ang hinahanap natin, we're looking for x. X is equals to mean plus z-score multiplied by the standard deviation. Okay? X is equals to mean plus z-score multiplied by the standard deviation. Now, when dealing with normal distributions, there is what we call an empirical rule. The empirical rule, also referred to as the 3 sigma rule, or 68, 95, and 99.7. The rule is a statistical rule which states that for a normal distribution, almost all observed data will fall within 3 standard deviations, denoted by sigma of the mean, or average denoted by the mean. So, ito, sabi daw dito, meron lang tatlong kalalagyan. Okay? Meron lang tatlong buckets wherein our data would fall. It could be 68, it could be 95, it could be 99.7. That's the empirical rule. So 68% ito. 68% of the values lie within one standard deviation. So yan ay tinutukoy natin kanina. One standard deviation, positive 1, negative 1. So 68% of the data fall within this bucket. Next, 95% of the x values lie within 2 standard deviations. So ito naman, negative 2, positive 2. Itong spread na to, this is 95%. And 99.7% of the x values lie within 3 standard deviations of the mean. So, positive 3, negative 3. Itong spread na to, buo, this is 99.7%. Okay? And then, what does that mean? 34% for positive and then 34% probability for negative. Paano nangyari yun? Ano? All we have to do is just divide 68% by 2. Okay? How about this? Paano naging 13.2 and 13.2 here? What we did is deduct 68 from 95%. Okay? And then, the score would be, or the result would be 27, around 27%. And then you would have to divide that by. So that gives you 13.2%. Now next, of course, the difference between 99.7 and 95%. So you have around 4 to 5%, and then you divide that by 2, reason why you have 2.35 each. And then if you would have to drill down further, 100% from 99.7. Kaya tig 0.15 siya. Okay? So that's for our empirical rule. Now for our example, let's look at this. This given. If x is equals to n, or 80 and 50, what are the values of mean and standard deviation? Which of the value of x has a z-score of 1.2? What is the z-score corresponding to x is equals to 50? And what is the difference between positive and negative z values? So we will try to answer all of this using the formulas we are given earlier. Okay? So, 1. So, this was discussed earlier on our earlier slides na how we would get this. No? X is equals to n, 80 and 15. So what you would be doing is just, if you're looking for the value of mean and standard deviation, it's already given in this format. You just have to translate it, right? So x and n is equals to mean and the standard deviation. So you would just have to translate it. Kaya mean is 80 and then standard deviation is 15. So parang transfer mo lang siya sa kanan, alright? Now for B, Z which value of x is a z-score of 1.2? So, paano natin nahanapin yung x, no? Equivalent to the z-score of 1.2. So, our given is z 1.2 and then yung x, that's what we are trying to look for. If we are looking for x, again, we would have to refer to this formula. X is equals to mean plus z-score multiplied by the standard deviation. So, nilagay natin yung formula dito. X is equals to 80 is the mean. Ayan yung mean, 80. Plus z, ano daw yung z-score? Given na 1.2. Multiplied by standard deviation, 15. So, 1.2 times 15. 80 plus 1.2 multiplied by 15. So, unahin muna natin to. No? 1.2 times 15 is 18 and then plus the mean for 80. So, our answer is 98. So, yun yung value of x for a z-score of 1.2. And then third, what is the z-score corresponding to x is equals to 50? So, ang hinahanap naman natin dito yung z-score. So, how you would calculate z-score, it's already in the formula. Z is equals to x minus mean over standard deviation. So, given na yung x, okay, and then we're looking for z. Then, let's translate it here. Ito yung formula. Z is equals to x, this is x of 50, yan, given na kasi, minus 80, ito yung 80, which is our mean, and then over 15, standard deviation, 15. Therefore, 50 minus 80 is 30, negative 30 over 15, and then our answer is negative 2. So, the z-score corresponding to x of 50 is negative. So, ngayon, our final question, what is the difference between positive and negative z values? Okay? So, what we would be doing is this. Okay? We would have to graph it out dito in order or plot it out in order for us to visualize the distribution kasi yun yung pinapakita natin kanina, the normal distribution. Again, in the middle would be the mean. Ano ba yung mean natin? 80. So, nilagay natin yung 80 dito. Okay? Now, z-score of 1.2. So, how did we determine that? Kasi, z is equals to 1.2. That's positive. Ano? Positive. Okay? Z is equals to 1.2 positive and then that's equivalent to 98. Ang equivalent niya sa baba would be the x score wherein yun yung hinanap natin kanina. Z is equals to 1.2 equivalent to x 98. So sa taas, Z is equals to 1.2 and at the bottom 98. And then on the left side, no? Kasi tatandaan natin sa normal distribution, right goes to the positive goes to right and then negative goes to left. So Z is equals to negative 2. Negative 2 yung nandito. And then sa baba, 50. How did we determine that? By answering letter C. So C, ang sabi dito, yung x of 50 is equivalent to Z of negative 2. Thus, we have plotted this way, no? Negative 2 is equivalent to 50 of x. Which makes perfect sense kasi 80 yung nasa gitna natin, mean. Of course, before 80, you would have 50. And then after 80, you would have 90. And then, on a normal distribution, negative talaga would fall on the left and the positive goes to right. So I hope you have understood this very short topic about normal distribution. If you have questions or concerns, please follow me on all the social media platforms I am in, such as YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can send me a direct message. You can even shoot me an email for questions and concerns. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Till our next episode, to God be all the glory.